folks. Welcome to another edition of Outdoors Minnesota. I'm Chris Mitchell along with Mike Reagan. We've got a couple of guests with us this week. We've got Diane Johnson and Todd Malik. Thanks for joining us this week, guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
We got the Perch Express. They're going to be heading up to Devil's Lake, North Dakota, and these two folks were lucky enough to win a contest that we put up Outdoors Minnesota monthly. And it's going to be a good time. We're going to get together and see if we can catch some of those 2-pound perch they got up in Devil's Lake.
It's going to be fun. So let's wait for the train. We got our gear packed, and come along with us today on Outdoors Minnesota.
Not the best portable made because it does take a little effort to move these big houses around, but when it gets really cold like it is today, it's 20 below zero. It's awful nice. A lot of room, give you a chance to stretch out and not get claustrophobic, and it's kind of a good base house. So what we're going to do is start here this morning. The sun's just starting to come up, and perch generally are not a nocturnal feeder, so we're expecting them to fire up as soon as the sun gets up a little higher. We'll kind of base out of this area, and then we'll shoot off with portables and 2-man fish traps, and kind of buzz from here. So we'll give this a try first, and if this doesn't go, then we start to move.
Right in this spot, I had one was over 14.5 inches, and one was 14 1/4. And neither of them made 2 pounds. Couldn't believe it. So I suppose they're not full of eggs enough yet or something.
No, they'll fatten up.
Oh, yeah.
That's fair. What, you marking anything down there, bud?
I had something on the bottom there a little while ago, but no, it's good.
What do you got on? What kind of jig you got?
Using a silver and blue wrap, chicken wrap. Talking to Mike before, he said silver, blue, and chartreuse.
I switched it. You can have it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So where are we putting them? Where are we going to stick them?
Well, we don't want
the
them.
green fish or not?
Good job. We don't want them froze, because then they're so hard to clean. I'll just
Okay.
put them in a bucket.
One down, more to go.
Do you have any, I'll get you a bucket you can put them in.
Hi. Nice and toasty in here.
Just hit the ice, try to find some jumbo perch today. We've got an interesting spot we can try, and we know they're there. Hopefully today's conditions will give us a chance to get those fish to bite a little bit.
Yeah, it was a tough day yesterday, though. We had that colder weather came in after some warm weather. And then, actually, the day we were coming up, you guys had blizzard conditions, didn't you?
That's correct. We had a major weather change overnight. And anytime you have a dramatic, change in weather, things are going to happen. Normally what happens is the fish tend not to bite as well the day following a major change in weather. So we were on fish yesterday. We were marking them, and the few that we did get were awful nice ones.
Yeah.
So hopefully today they'll be in the same area, and we'll be able to maybe hone in on a particular school of perch, and with a little luck they might bite today.
Oh, let's talk a little bit about Devil's Lake, though. When you got this is an interesting body of water. I was talking to one of your guides, Mike, and I said, I got the lake map. He goes, it ain't any good, man. It keeps growing on us.
Right. We're probably in about 25 feet of water. Well, maybe not quite that deep right here, but this was basically a pasture. This was bone dry 3 years ago. So we're we went from 55,000 acres to 100,000 plus, so there's all kinds of new areas to fish, and they can literally be in any one of those 100,000 acres. So it definitely makes it a lot more challenging to try to find them, and then, you know, because they relate to all kinds of different types of structure. Now we have literally thousands of acres of flooded timber that provide nice cover. We have new sandbars, we have new rock piles, watering holes that are under the lake now. And
Lots of shrimp.
And
lots of crash shrimp. Boy, they're swimming out of the hole.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing because they really are the critical key to our perch rapid. You know, we have the fastest growth rate on perch documented in the country.
What is it?
And that is because I'm not sure.
Do you know what the rate is?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But they grow fast and they grow plump here, and the key to that is the fact that we've got those big freshwater shrimp and lots of them. And so they have a pretty easy source of food year round. They still bite on what we try to tend to get to them. If they're in a feeding frenzy, they're going to go after whatever. But hopefully we can get them to bite today. We're definitely on an area that has some very nice quality perch.
Okay.
And we might not necessarily catch a gazillion, but the ones we do catch are going to be awful nice.
Light line here. Oh, this one. Oh. They're taking them. There, that's a keeper. I had this one just, I felt it just hit the bottom and it went down. Let's see your bucket. What do you got? Oh, you got a walleye in there too, huh? Yeah, a little walleye. You got a couple of nice ones. Deal. Alright. You guys having a good time on Devil's Lake? You betcha.
Good experience.
Yeah. It's been a good time. We got the other guys out there moving around, so as we find another one, we'll just pull it in the house and get these bigger schools. Okay, good luck. Thanks.
Getting hungry?
Oh, you bet. Kyle here, our host from Woodland Resort. What are you bringing us here?
A little lunch action. Since the fish are slowed down a little bit, we might as well have a little lunch.
Oh, that's great. What do we got in the bag?
Well, we got all kinds of goodies. This is one of the features of Perch Express. We pack our lunch right out on the ice. Sometimes we'll do an actual shore lunch where we cook up some fish, but on days like this, we're trying to stay portable as possible. Okay. It's hard to lug all the gear along to actually do a fish fry. So we do the next best thing. We have some lovely sandwiches.
Oh, all right. That looks great.
Fresh baked
And
muffins.
some rolls. Oh,
We got sodas, chips,
super.
some fixings for your sandwich. So it's all set to go.
You got some great looking sandwiches in there, and we don't have to worry about a thing. We can just eat and then get back to some fishing.
Little twitch.
I'm marking them down there.
There's one.
You son of a gun! You're
All
fishing
right.
right next to me. I'm kind of like, you know, if I had a net, I could knock this fish off. I won't do that to you. No.
Fair size one.
Oh, there you go. All right, that's what we're after.
There's a Danny, but it's no big jumbo, but nice one. Decent keeper.
Well, it's not going to be too long, and the sun's going to be touching the treetops, so we got to wrap up our day here on Devil's Lake. But we want to thank some of the people who made our show today possible. We've got Kyle from Woodland Resort, a couple of the guides that he works with, Steve and Mike, and then we've got our winners from the Perch Express who came along with us and had a great time. That was Diane Johnson and Todd Malik. For cameraman Brad Veenstra, and for Mike Reagan, I'm Chris Mitchell on Outdoors Minnesota. We'll see you next week.